listening?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So excited.
Good morning.
We got Hillbilly. We got the coffees. Hillbilly's actually drinking coffee, everybody. Mark
Yep.
that down in your calendar.
I'm bougie this morning. I got the Starbucks.
Hey, that's fine. You know, it's not tea, so I'm happy.
I'm a tea drinker though. That's my thing. Coffee's rare for me, but I do drink black tea every morning.
Nice. Hillbilly loves his tea too.
You love me tea.
He's like the most regular on the show. He's on the show with me every day compared to like everybody else. And he drinks tea a lot. And I'm like, dude, this is a coffee show.
Love that shit.
Wild shit, right? All right. Well, good morning. I want to welcome everybody to Super Fast Tortoise, who is officially, if I can find the stupid thing. Yeah, officially sponsored by cardsutopia.com, where you can find sweet Magic Gathering dice bags like this particular one, or the one Hillbilly showing up in the top right corner there. You can find these for $45 plus $5 shipped. Yes, you can get the vinyl line dice bags. You can get strawberry shaped bags like that. You can get lapel pins limited time like that salty one. It's pretty badass. And you can get little commander plates. You can get customized paintings for your enjoyment. And in a limited time, you can get little paperweight dragon tails that glow in the black light. All that can be found at cardsutopia.com. That's right. Hillbilly got it. Woo! Channel sponsor out of the way. What's up, everybody? Good morning. MTG Hillbilly, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Didn't have too good of a run on Arena this morning, but doing pretty good.
Well, you usually sit down when you play Arena, so I don't expect why you run. Bad joke, I know. All right. And we got, was it Scotland?
Yeah.
The Mana Crypt Keeper. Well, welcome to the show for the very first time. So happy to have you.
I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah, this is kind of like a loosey-goosey show. We try to stay on topic, but, you know, you don't have to be formal. You know, you don't have to have a hat on. You don't have to have a cool Transformer shirt on. That's my job.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I'll just sit here and look pretty then.
That's right. No, I'm kidding. So how are you doing today?
Can't complain. Well, I could, but I won't. Dude, allergies. I've been on this earth for 22 years, and I have never had allergies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mailman, so I work outside a lot. So I was outside on my route yesterday, and I counted my sneezes, and I sneezed 172 times yesterday.
Ooh.
I've never had allergies before, but oh my god. So I am still recovering from that.
At a certain age, your allergies start kicking your butt. Even me. Like, I'm what they call light nose. Like, bright sunlight will make me sneeze. And I'm one of those people who don't just sneeze once. I sneeze like 4 or 5 plus times.
Me too.
And man, it's ridiculous.
I hate those dang on sneezing fits.
That's right.
I get them all the time myself.
My longest run of sneezes yesterday was, I think, 11. I sneezed 11 times in like a minute. I was lightheaded. I had to sit down.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. It sounds like you ruptured your brain there.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know how that feels. Sometimes you get like lightheaded when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Waffles, hello.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Doing pretty good. Nice to see you here. I got a Jalax topic today, and I was figuring, yeah, you could be here to enjoy the Jalax topic.
I feel like you think every topic is a topic I should be here for.
It is. It is. Like, every topic is for you. You know, I cater every topic to you. You know, I think, man, what would Captain Waffles like to talk about? Yeah, that's exactly what goes through my mind.
Yep.
Sometimes it's because I come up with topics on the daily, right? I don't have them pre-planned. I start the show, set up the show. I try to make up the topic like half an hour before the show starts so I can write a monologue about it, whatever.
Yeah, so it's WWWD. What would waffles do?
That's right. Right. .com. All right, let's say hello to some people in chat really quick. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mrs. Hillbilly. Mrs. Hillbilly. Hello, good morning. Hello, James Willis. Sir James Willis. Woo. Man, Richie Dubs. Richie Dubs. Thank you, James Willis, for putting all those commands in there. Pretty soon, show up again. I'll probably have to make you a command for when you and your buddy are here. So I have commands. Like if you type an exclamation point, let's say hillbilly, right? And anybody could type that in chat, like James typed in commands, and puts up their link to their YouTube channel.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, the things people earn for being on the show, because I care. I want you to feel good. All right, now rolling on through because I don't know how big or small this topic will be today. Hillbilly, the first segment of the day.
Would that be the
card of the day?
Ooh, the card of the day is Nightmare Land. Ooh. I thought of Hillbilly and his drinking problems, drinking too much tea when I saw this card. I'm kidding.
Nice.
I'm kidding. I just love giving Hillbilly a little smack talk. So this card costs 4 generic mana. It's an artifact equipment, and the equip cost is paying 3 life, which is not horrible. In a mono black deck, this is pretty good because the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each swamp you control. So those Uborg players will probably run this card. This is a good commander card. Good. It used to be like solid in standard, but back in the day, standard was a little bit slower than today. But this is a solid card. This card is fun. Like I think if they reprinted this card in that time era of Mirrodin right here, this would have been a mythic in today's standard. But today's standard, it's probably not strong enough to be mythic.
Nah.
Who knows? Who knows? You got any thoughts on this card, Hillbilly?
Yeah, I think it's kind of weak right now because of the way the cards are. But if I did have this card, it'd definitely go in my commander deck and it'd go in my Necron deck because Necron is black. It's mono black. And this would be perfect for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you play this card, Scotland?
I did play this card.
Hell yeah.
I had a Keurig deck prior. So I turned it CDH after a bit, and I actually I recently in the last week completely got rid of my Keurig deck and rebuilt it into Zur CDH, and that's why I saw your top and I'm like, I just went through this whole process. We're gonna do this, and yeah, Nightmare Lash definitely turned Keurig into like a 16/16 with lifelink and commander damage. So pretty solid card.
That's pretty cool. The fact that you actually played this too recently is pretty awesome.
Yeah, within the last couple weeks.
Card still is. Yep. Captain Waffles, any thoughts?
Oh, this card was a house and limited. I always drafted it if I first packed it.
You mean you were playing limited back in the day?
Oh, I've been playing limited forever.
Forever. Nice. Nice.
I mean, I sucked back in Mirrodin when I played limited, but it is what it is.
Yeah, when this set of Mirrodin was standard, I was new to the game. Like the major set that came out that really got me into Magic was Ravnica City of Guilds.
Cool. But Mirrodin was like 03, right?
05.
05?
It was.
Dude, I wasn't even old enough to read at that point.
I think it was because I want to say I was either a sophomore or junior in high school. So and I graduated 05, so it had to be 03, 04.
Yeah, well, a lot of the cards is 03, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
because Ravnica
I started playing in Onslaught in 02, so
yeah, it had to be 04 because Ravnica City of Guilds came out in 2005 because I was in Job Corps then. And that's the year I went into Job Corps. And Mirrodin was standard already, but there was and I was playing Mirrodin a lot. Didn't play too much Kamigawa, but Kamigawa was like the new set when I started playing. But we were playing with all the Mirrodin and older cards because they were more viable and easy to grab back then. Because that's how it used to be. And but like but soon Ravnica City Guilds came out, which came out right after Kamigawa Block. That was 2005, so probably 2004.
You want to
Are
know
we
why
talking
Ravnica
OG
was so
Mirrodin?
successful? Ravnica was so successful because Saviors was such a garbage set in Kamigawa that people were so relieved to actually have good Magic cards again.
Right. Well, the whole Mirrodin block that we're talking about, which down the bottom says 03, so it probably came out at the end of 03, not 04.
Yeah, October 7th, 03. I looked it up.
Yep.
Yeah. This whole Mirrodin block about broke standard, and people were too tired of it. Then they came out with Kamigawa, which was a super weak set, not in Commander terms. There's some powerful cards in there for Commander.
Always GTA.
Right. But it pretty broke the set. The Newzama's Jitte used to be pretty powerful in standard too. But like when Ravnica came out, it just completely changed the flavor and gave everybody deck building options that didn't rely on artifacts. People were excited. Like there was a cold time where people were quitting during this time.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
Affinity was such a powerhouse of a deck in standard that nobody wanted to play.
Affinity is still gross.
And at the same time, standard wasn't completely resolved, as nobody knew exactly what standard was. Because like my friend was playing a Tinker deck with Dark Steel Colossus and was pooping him out like turn 1, turn 2, and no one knew if it was a standard legal deck or not. But we know Tinker got banned, but no one had a solid fixing what standard was, because standard wasn't called standard back then. I think it was called Type 1 or Type 2.
Well, it was called Type 1 because it was standard, and then there was Extended, which was Type 1.5, and then you had Legacy, which was Type 2.
Yeah, how things have changed. Right, yeah, that's pretty cool. Memory lane for sure. Now let's roll on to some pictures of the day. Oh, I found a picture of Hillbilly laying on the porch. It's Thursday. Hang on in there. It's almost Friday. Man, all that is keeping me from killing you is my coffee. Just remember that. Says the squirrel.
It's a wild DJ Longhair picture.
Right?
I'm wondering where you're getting all these creep shots from, dude. It's getting a little weird. You got Hillbilly and DJ.
Yeah.
The problem is you need to change the coffee cup to a monster, and then it'll be DJ.
Right? Need coffee now. Whoa. I saw that picture. I'm like, that's funny. And it's another squirrel. But I found a picture of a clean shaven Captain Waffles, though. Happy Thursday, team. The weekend is near.
San Diego.
Right? San Diego. All right. So I thought that burgundy picture was funny. Yeah, so that's a picture of the day rolling in. Feeling loose. Hope you guys are feeling regular and comfortable and full of energy, because it's the morning. That's our job, is to inspire people, right? I know it's not really a job, but it's fun to be motivating for people to be awake and alert and excited for the topic today or the conversation, because you guys are lively and you guys can chime in. Like I don't know. Well, Scotland looks like he's doing multiple things, so he's probably
no. I just have two monitors. I have you set up on this one. My camera's over on this one, so I'm watching. We're here.
Well, I'm not dogging on you. I just you're a busy dude. You're editing videos. You're always doing stuff. You're in it, and I want you to feel excited too, because you know what?
I'm here for it.
You guys all make the show. Like I'm just the lead ringer of the show, but you guys really make the show vibrant. It's so fun to talk to you guys. It's like without you guys, I'm kind of boring, but with you guys, I'm active and awake and alert.
The ringleader.
Ringleader, yep. Woo-hoo! Yeah, all right.
So I guess we got some circus here now.
We got some circus. So let's get to the topic of the day. Set the mood of deck building, right? The monologue is, what is your groove, your way of deck building? Do you turn on music to help you ease the process of deck building? Do you turn on the TV? What do you do to set the mood for concentrating on deck building in general? And sometimes you're just upgrading a deck. Maybe you're just updating and upgrading a deck. How do you set the atmosphere for you to have the best and optimal scenario to put you into the zone? You got this. Let's talk about the best ways to deck build and maybe some strategies on doing it. I kind of failed at reading that, but it's fine. Justin Tierney, Goblin Matron, hello. Good morning. You rock.
Morning.
So I'm gonna start this conversation off. So like when I can, like my deck building space is right here. But like I like to turn on music. I need the music. I need the distraction from the emptiness that's outside my brain because my brain's full of emptiness. So like I think music helps me like ignore everything else so I can focus on the deck. Especially have like a radio on or have some Linkin Park on because I'm a huge Linkin Park fan from back in the day. I need to get a link. I flip my shirt like I'm supporting Linkin Park. I need to find an outlet to ignore everything else because sometimes I look over and there's a cat playing and that gets my attention for a bit, So I like to set the mood by, controlling the atmosphere to ignore the things because I got 4 cats, man. You know how distracting 4 cats can be when they're just doing cute or annoying things.
I don't have any cats, and I'm still distracted by him. So
it's like my son has an app on his phone that changes his wallpaper from cat to different cat, like every time he turns on the phone. So, Justin Tierney says he prefers silence. I get it. I'm a mono black player. You're like, hello, darkness, my old friend. Building mono black again.
oh, fuck off.
Well, I mean, you can always do the TCG dude method of deck building where you dim the lights, put a little bit of candles on, throw some Barry Manilow on, get
Rose
really
petals on the bed.
Yeah. I know TCG dude does it that way.
TCG dude. Now, if he was here to comment, I'd love to know his comment.
No, I'm doing that so when he watches the replay later, he can laugh.
Right. So, I know you guys do some good deck building. Hillbilly, I know he doesn't really deck build at the moment, but he upgrades decks. Well, how do you set the atmosphere for your deck building or deck upgrading process?
Well, first of all, I try to get into thought, see what synergizes together. Then after I see what synergizes together, then I'll try to build around that and make the deck. But in order to set the mood, I prefer silence.
Silence is interesting. Like silence kills me so much. Maybe because I'm bipolar ADHD and all that jazz, but
see, if I don't have silence, my mind tends to wander. And I don't want it to wander. I want it to wander on one thing, and that is that deck.
Right. And see, I'm the kind of person, like, as a graphic designer and I'm working on a project and if I'm feeling like the project is not going well, but it could be going the opposite direction, like I'll actually step away from the project for like a few minutes, find something else to do, and come back with fresh eyes to see if it actually looks better or maybe there's an improvement that I'm not focusing on because I focus too hard on a project. That's why I need music, because I get too focused on little things. And one of the things I care about the most is my mana curve, right? The mana curve. I care about the mana curve so much that sometimes I forget to put in the power bombs, or sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I got bombs. I need power bombs here. And I forget the curve exists. I need to step away, listen to some music, relax, go back with fresh eyes, and, I don't know. Scotland, what you do?
I'm very particular. So I've been playing Magic for a long time, obviously. When you guys were playing in 0304, I was barely walking at that point in my life, but I have always I'm young. I am very young. Music is very important to me because I am a musician. My mom is a music teacher. My brother is currently on tour with his band. I've toured with him before, so music is huge to us. So I always, I mean, I'm listening to music right now. Like it's huge, and I'm like a masochist because I don't use like EDH rec. I just go straight Scryfall, and I'm like, all right, time to just read 14,000 different cards to find the one thing that, you know, I'm looking for.
Right. When I'm trying to build a deck outside of paper form, like meaning before I try to put it to paper, I search up cards on the Gatherer so much, because like I'll be like, here's an ability that I want. Now I'll type in that type of ability. Sometimes it's either a keyword or sometimes I have to write it out. And I'll search on the Gatherer all the different cards that fit that synergy, you know, so I can be like, oh, this will be good in this deck, or this doesn't fit the deck, or this would be awesome, you know, because when you're listening to music and you're trying to find synergies, and some people find it hard to build decks because they don't know what to look for. The biggest piece of advice I try to give them is, well, if you ever have a question, if there's like a particular ability, like say Exalted, for example, just type into Google MTG Exalted and find the Gatherer page, and it shows you all the cards with Exalted. Or, you know, sometimes there's other abilities like that. Sometimes draw, like you can type in MTG card draw and the Gatherer shows up and it gives you all these cards that say draw a card. Sometimes you find ones in colors you didn't know existed, or sometimes that fit the deck more than you want to. Like, for example, when I'm building like a 3-color deck, I kind of lean against 2 colors. But, you know, Harmonize is a good card to draw cards because it's a green card that draws you 3 cards. I mean, there's a blue version that does the same thing, but it's not looked as good because it's not green. But, you know, sometimes your mana curve, the way you have your mana set, maybe you're focused more on green, so you need that green synergy for that particular card.
Yep.
Yeah. Captain Waffles is thinking. He's like, you guys are scrubs.
I'm just waiting. Just waiting.
You don't have to wait. You know how the show goes.
I just don't want to interrupt anybody, okay?
He deserves it.
So yeah, like I have 2 modes when it comes to deck building. Either casual EDH mode or competitive mode.
Right.
Both modes I slap on some music. Like last night I was doing a whole bunch of shit at the same time, like responding to your DMs, writing in my new book, and a couple other things all at the same time. Like I have a very easy mind to multitask. I don't know how it's possible, but I throw on. What helps is like right now I'm on this 80 Sins wave kick, so I've been like listening to that while I do stuff. And so it's either that or like EDM or some kind of very rhythmic like beat to it where there's not a lot of words. It's just where I can focus on just like the music. But when I go into like the casual mode, it's just kind of like I have my commander decks out. I'm kind of like toying around with them, like, oh, what can I update? Like, I don't really like this card anymore, and there's like new outlaw cards or this or that, and I just kind of play around with messing with what I want to put into it. But when I get into competitive mode, like I'm either looking at the deck that I'm going to play for whatever format I'm going to go play in, like standard, modern, whatever, and I decide either I mess around with the sideboard more than the main board, and I've got 2 screens as well, and I've got like 17 tabs open with like every deck of the format, like scouring through all the different decks, looking at what the matchups entail, like what cards they're playing, what decks have been performing well, like taking notes on all of this stuff. And then if I'm not going to play a specific deck I already have built, I go and I start brewing something that beats the format. And I've done it a couple times. And me and my buddies back in the day when we were really heavy into this, we used to play test a lot. And I remember, so one of the ways that we would tune a deck, we would play it against the best deck in the format. And if it kept getting creamed, then I would literally sit there with like headphones on and just scour my binder and just look at cards over and over in my binder. And I remember at the time, I've told you this story before probably, but Black Red Vampires was like the best deck in the format. and we were trying to figure out a way to beat Black Red Vampires because we didn't want to play Black Red Vampires because we already knew everybody else was going to be playing it, and so we wanted a little bit of an edge to have something that wasn't known. And so we were trying Bug, which is now called Sultai, and it just kept getting smashed on. And I'm looking through the binder, and I come across Resto Angel, and at the time we're playing Thragtusk in the deck, and we're like, wow, Resto Angel Thragtusk would be an insane combo to beat this deck because you get creature advantage, you get life advantage, like that's what you need against the Black Red Vampires deck. So we ended up dropping the blue, putting the white in, and started smashing test games with it, and we were winning like 95% of the time. So we just tested over and over and over, and we went to the tournament, and I ended up winning it. Like, I didn't drop a single match. I just absolutely decimated the field. But that's what I like to do when I get into the competitive mode. I have so many tabs open with all the decks, and I've got the music on, and I'm just taking mental notes of all of these different decks and figuring out like the key components, like how they work. Like, if I'm playing a control deck, okay, what cards do I want my counter spells to target? If I'm playing an aggro deck, what cards do I need to watch out for? Like, is the format heavy board sweeping? Is it spot removal? If I'm playing combo, is it a heavy control environment? Do I need to put in cards that counter control? Like, I literally just look at every aspect and spend hours poring over this. And then I can't sleep at night either, because then I'm lying in bed and like all of a sudden a card will pop into my head and I'm like, shit, I need to put that in my sideboard. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I walk over to my desk and I'm like rifling through my cards, and my wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm looking for a card.
That's funny. Oh, but serious too, because like I remember when I first was the Magic and I learned what looters did and how much I loved them. I remember having dreams about looting. I'm like, yeah, tap the discard and draw a card. Hell yeah, or tap, draw a card, discard a card. Well, yeah, it's so good. But like, see, I have a similar but different take. Like, I try to build the deck as casual as possible first, because I want to see what the win condition will be. Then I try to think of all the cards in the format, like in Commander, that I have to kind of care about. Like, when I care about what kind of permanent it is, if it's an enchantment, artifact kind of thing, I won't have to worry about. I start in the competitive mindset, start putting in the removals for that. And I always try to look for the creature cards with the removals stapled onto it, because I like the advantage of having 2-for-1s instead of just an instant sorcery spell that goes away. Unless, like I try to tell everybody, there are cards out there that cost 3-4 mana, destroy all enchantments on the board. Play them.
My really friends need to. I play Zur.
Zur. Yep. It's Michael Superbacker. Hello.
Yeah. See, when it comes to Commander, like, I think it really just boils down to like who you play with, because Commander is such a huge melting pot of cards that it's impossible to just be like, oh, my deck beats everything because I looked at it's like, no, that's not how Commander works. Commander is like, you need to look at what your win conditions are and figure out how you're going to win the game, and then put in things that are going to make your deck resilient to certain archetypes, rather than trying to beat all archetypes. Just like my Urza deck is literally, I'm trying to build as many constructs and have as many artifacts out as possible, so that when my constructs hit you, they're like 25/25s.
Yeah.
And so my thing is like, I play a couple things like Teferi's Protection and a couple other things that will protect my board. But I also have board wipes in there in case like another deck is getting completely out of hand and I'm not up to speed yet to like bash in for game. Then I'm like, I need this board reset so that I can become the powerful board, because that's what I've created that deck to be. It's going to be the Urza army of constructs, but I also have to control certain elements of the game. So there are counter spells in the deck, but they're module counter spells, to where either they can counter a spell, or they can like draw me or find me cards or do other modes, so that they're not just a dead card at specific times in the game. So that's other things that, like, when it comes to Commander, like, I think people should look at, because I do like you, where I go to Gather and I'll type in like, Exalted or 0/0 Construct or whatever, and that'll give me an idea of cards to really like kind of synergize with. But Commander is definitely a different horse when it comes to deck building than the the 60 card constructed formats.
Well, it's a lot harder to build in 60 card constructed formats, especially because of the meta. I mean, try building literally anything in Modern right now with the shit show that Modern's in. And Modern's my favorite format. I haven't played a game of Modern since the Fury ban kind of thing because it's just such a shit show. And I haven't seen really anyone build anything that can handle that. Yeah, there's little one-offs and stuff like that, but I would say that the creativity is a lot easier in Commander. Therefore, it makes the deck building a lot easier than 60 card formats where the meta is so high and it's almost unbreakable at that point. Convoke and Standard, come on, dude.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right. The formats for the 60 cards, there is very limited room for deck building. Like I was playtesting some Modern right before Outlaws, right before the pre-release, and the guy was playing. He had Yawgmoth, so green black Yawgmoth, and I built Urza Jund. And I feel like it's the most like consistent deck as far as like the toolbox that you have of like disruption. You have the creatures to bash in with. You have the reach with burn spells. There's things that you have a lot of tools that you can utilize to combat a lot of the decks. So I went the route of I'm just going to be very 50-50 with a lot of these decks and just hope my play skill makes up the other 10%. Whereas there's other decks out there that like Yawgmoth is the best deck right now, like hands down the best deck. And it's been the reason why is because it's just been dominating so much because people after playing against it, I realized the confusion people can see, like trying to figure out what to actually take out of the hand on a Thoughtseize or things like that. And if you don't have the skill level, you will definitely lose to that deck outright.
I would argue that Domain is in a better place than Yawgmoth right now, just simply because Leyland and the Guild Pact is being played in there now. So, turn 2, you're playing 6/6s that attack and, loot kind of thing. I think that kind of outweighs Yawgmoth from someone who's played both decks. I mean, Yawgmoth was my first Modern deck I ever built kind of thing. Like, I get where you're coming from, but man, yeah, it's in the end, it's just Modern sucks right now. You're absolutely right. Domain is a very good deck. Like Yawgmoth and Domain are definitely the top 2, and I think it switches per tournament because you're gonna have Titan's like a third, but honestly I feel like that one's just a lot more people are prepared for it, and it's an easier one to interrupt. Yeah. No, you play a Blood Moon, they're fucked. They can't do anything.
Yeah. Nope.
Blood Moon. Oh, best deck of Modern, TCG dude. TCG dude. We're talking crap about you. All right. So like one thing I wanted to say is the reason why using the Gatherer is good on looking for abilities. I wanted to put this in there for those out there who don't know. So say you did want to do Exalted, and Exalted is one of my favorite little mechanics. That's why I keep using it. You type in Exalted in the Gatherer and it shows you every card Exalted. Well, sure, like someone like I know that like the Shard set, the Shards of Allura block had Exalted in that block somewhere. But there's been times Wizards has printed Exalted in different sets. So the Gatherer kind of combines those different sets together so you can see all the cards. So if you never knew one existed or you weren't looking in the right place, it helps you out in that area of Magic.
I think one of the best like mechanics in Commander is Eminence. Like that is one of the most broken abilities in Commander. Like when I saw those come out, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like the power level of Eminence is just way too high.
There's a reason Edgar Markov like $100.
Yeah, like my friend, like it was a tough trade, but I ended up trading one to James Willis in chat. Yep. It was fun. Like good times. Good times.
Was it good though? That was my first experience to Commanders. I went to my LGS and we cracked all the because that was 2017 Commander. And so, it was Wizards, Cats, Dragons, and Vampires. And I ended up with the Dragon deck. And like I said, I mean, something that just from the command zone, static makes your shit cost less. And then when it's on the field, gives you buffs. I mean, I've played against Edgar Markov so much, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually seen it cast from the command zone.
Yeah.
Eminence was just disgusting, and I hope they never bring it back.
That's funny.
I mean, I've known of people playing commanders just for the color types and never cast their commander.
I've done that with
But
Kenrith.
Eminence just makes it that much better.
Right. Well, I guess it depends on your skill level. Deck building. Like when I first built my Rafika the mini deck, it was a popperish deck and it kicked butt like turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. And then my deck's now upgraded and still has the same power level. But sometimes if you know how to deck build and what to look for, and my Rafik deck was accidentally built to be that powerful, not on purpose, and I just maintained the power level as I updated it.
Yeah. Side note on. Oh, sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
Yeah. Side note on that, I just did a $50 deck challenge with my play group, and I built. It's my favorite deck. It's Child of Alara, but 99 lands. It's 99 lands and a Child of Alara in the command zone, and a bunch of lands that tap sack a creature, like high market kind of effects. One of my buddies played Joda the Unifier. Oh my god. I mean, I've played against that with my Galadriel deck, which is like power level 8.5, 9. I got destroyed. I got mutilated.
Yeah, he's a very powerful Joda. I have a Joda deck, but it's not a unifier. It's a Leo.
Yeah, I have the other one too.
Yeah, for my dinosaurs, my first dinosaur deck, I should say, because
mine's dragons. Yeah,
because it's easy. My son has one somewhere, and it's for his Eldrazi deck.
Child of Alara, aka Don't Wake the Baby.
That's right.
It's so much fun, because no one expects it until I get to 7 lands. And then I just constantly have my finger over the red button ready to wipe the board so no one fucks with me. And then I can, my win con in there is Maze's End. So I'm just constantly pulling out my gates and shit like that.
That's really
I was wondering, I was sitting here wondering, what the hell would the win con be with that deck?
Maze's End, that's it.
Now.
I have all the cards. Yeah, I
seen a guy. I seen a guy playing Ashling the Pilgrim with 99 mountains. That was a funny one.
I played Ragavan with 99 mountains.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
The other thing I was going to suggest for your Alara deck is maybe put a Seismic Assault in it, since you have so many lands. You could play a Cascade Swans and Seismic Assault and just combo off and kill everybody that way too.
That's the hard part, is I'm trying to keep it 99 lands. The only non-land, I have 8 or 9 non-lands in there, but they're all MDFCs. So they're still lands.
You're running the man lines in there too?
Yes.
All right, good.
I have all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. I have all of the manlands, the power of the manlands in the palm of my hand.
Oh, and they work so well because A, you can't counter them, and B, a lot of removal spells, if they're not creature specific, they just say non-land permanent. So it's guess you can't hit my manlands now, and I'm swinging 5/4 flying at you. Have fun, nerd.
Right. And here's an idea for a non-land spell in your deck: Kolga and Modaro.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a good card where you basically cycle it to destroy an enchantment or artifact and draw a card and shuffle back in your library.
Oh, that's so good. I thought about putting in a what's it called? Blightsteel Colossus, just for the memes. And then lands on Blightsteel Colossus.
Wow,
that's awesome. All right, man. A lot of good stuff today. So let's get to the first of the 2 segments of the last end. Hillbilly, what is the second segment of the day?
is that the?
No.
Yeah.
It must be movers and shakers.
What? Hey, look, we got some movers and shakers. Let me blow up the screen. Boom, movers and shakers here.
Fucking Shieldred.
Shieldred.
God damn it.
Yesterday, now she's up again. Shieldred the Apocalypse up to 81.42, 1%. Odra Talk, not really moving too much, 2%. Slowly increasing at 25.48. Odra Talk is doing pretty good. Final Showdown. Ooh, 17.23 at 2% increase. Why is a board wipe being so expensive? I don't get it. Well,
it's so good.
Speed. It's instant speed. That's why.
And it's so versatile.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to get myself a copy of
I
that.
have a playset.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Having module spells in your deck to where it's not just a one-trick pony makes it that much better because you can make it a situational card and be like, all right, I don't need it as a board wipe. I need it as I need to protect this creature.
Right. Makes sense. All right. Plus 1% at $38. We got the Meat Hook Massacre, which I still need one of those for a deck.
Fuck that card.
You got Legend Shredder, plus 3% at $15.56. That's funny. Vein Ripper, 2587, 1% increase.
Fuck
Look
that
at
card too.
Ugh.
I like this card.
Yeah, it's a
Konami
good
the West
card.
Tree at $24 is a 1% increase. Konami the West Tree, just can't believe this card's worth so much. It seems so limited in what deck it should go in.
I have
Got
a
it.
+1 counters tribal, so
I got it.
I have one in my Rafika the mini deck. Yep. We got Voldalian Hex Catcher, 348 plus 9%.
I'm so happy that's still relevant. I bought so many thinking they were going to be like $30, and they never broke like 5.
But unless they reprint it, it will probably never be one.
Yep.
Then you got Gingy, the Midnight Sky at 553 plus 4%.
that went up.
Pretty good. Dragons always deserve good dragons. Sword is Forge of Frontier, 87, small percentage increase. I think that's pretty good. I remember I gave away these to someone in the auction because the auction was badass.
Mhm.
Cards going down. You got Blood Lizard Acolytes down 3% at 28.51. Can't believe that card's worth that much, but
It's so good. It's an infinite
Because of
combo
its
in standard. It's a
static
2-card
ability,
yeah.
standard. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure is.
yeah, my brain just looks at the pips and says, "Damn, that's a lot of mana." But no, it probably is good. Like I'd probably run it in. Well, I have a deck I could run that in actually.
Mono black
know.
is the only thing that runs it.
Yep.
Down 3%, 2095. Wandering Emperor. The Wandering Emperor is doing pretty good.
Love that card.
1459, down 4%. Jace Reawakened. This card's so
Love that
good.
card.
Tiny Pockets. Oh, Tiny Pockets. Tiny Bones, the Pit Pocket. The
I
28
like
bucks.
Tiny Pockets more. Let's stay to that one.
Tiny Pockets is moving down 2%. That's pretty cool. Look at that. That's a fun card. You got Sundown Pass at 918, down 3%. That's an all right land. It's doing pretty good. But here's a good one. Deathcap Glade down 2% up to $15. You got this land doing pretty good stuff. Because Bug and Soul Tide decks really need this. Now going on to someone's favorite card, Herbrath, 1616, down 2%. Herbrath is doing pretty good. I can't believe it's $16. Card,
Yeah,
I
that's
play
weird.
this card in a deck, but it just doesn't seem to do as much as I want it to.
It's a storm card in Commander.
Yep.
That makes sense. And then you got Satoru, the Infiltrator, A50, down 3%. A50 is pretty good. You got Galvanic Iteration. This is a good card right here. I
Love
like
that
this card.
It's won me games.
$1.80, down 10%. And Archdruid's Charm. This is a pretty fun card. $10 card, down 2%. Whoop, whoop. Charms, modal spells are going to change the world. And that, my friends, has been the Movers and Shakers.
I'm not surprised that those lands are going down because you had the reprint of the fast lands.
Thank
So,
God, it was so needed.
Yeah. Most Spire Bluff was up to like what, 20 or something like that?
I sold mine a few weeks ago for like 20 a piece.
Yeah.
We're 20 of the
Yeah,
piece.
I've been thinking about remaking Storm for Modern. I'm toying around with some ideas.
If you do that, you got to do the green red one with Manamorph because the Venerated Rot Priest, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, they banned the good cards that made Storm really busting in Modern.
Well,
And
so my
Affinity.
secret tech that I've been kind of toying around with, and I have to test it out, is Display of Power.
Ooh. Display of Power. I believe you.
I'm trying to figure out if it works the way I think it does, because if it does, it makes comboing off so much easier.
Right. No, because when Storm first appeared in Modern, and it ran like all the mana accelerators that Red had, but all the mana replacers like the one with the hand holding the
Manamorphose.
Manamorphose.
and the creature that replaced its 2 mana cost.
Yeah, I don't remember
Burning
her name.
Tree.
Yeah,
Burning Tree
Burning
Emissary,
Emissary, yeah.
And it played a lot of seething songs and little 1 mana cantrips. And man, that deck was busting. Like turn 2, turn 3, you're
Grape Shot.
Yeah, so they neutered it, and I played the neutered version still, and would win on turn 3, turn 4. But you had to like really know the deck. Like I played that deck a lot, and you have to know your percentages of what you can draw and what you can't, because originally it had like a Taxian Probe in it, and they banned that. And it had a couple other cards in it, like Preordained got banned. No, Serum Visions, one of the two. I think it was Preordained.
Serum Vision,
but like
illegal, so.
Yeah, so like you had to like really know the deck. And I remember I was playing in a tournament. I'm playing against mono red, and I'm on my turn 3, and I'm like, I can play this fetch land. Like I think I'm sitting at like 8 or 9 life. I'm like, I can play this fetch land, or I can play this shock land tapped, because if I get to untap and play another land, I go off and kill him. And sure enough, I was like, okay, I'll play the Shockland tapped, did a couple things, passed the turn. He puts me to 1 and then passes the turn. And had I played the fetch land, I wouldn't have been able to go off and kill him. So I ended up ripping a basic, played it, and went off and killed him. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And I explained to him what I could have done. And he's like, wow, you really thought that out. I was like, but yeah, I played this deck a million times. And I'm playing red. So it's like, I got to be on that whole thing of if he puts me to 1, this fetch land is dead.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, now we're gonna start rolling into the second segment of the day, the third segment of the day. Hey, Billy, you got this.
Deck of the day, maybe?
The deck of the day is brought to you by Redcubleather. High quality leather deck boxes and merchandise. Customizable options are available. The link is in the description box below.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change.
Woo-hoo, the deck of the day, here we go. It's been a while since we actually did one of these. We got a Traxa Prairie Voice. We've done our Traxa deck before, but this one's like updated, upgraded with some like newer cards. So I wanted to check it out, maybe get some inspiration. From one artifact, you got Painted Prism. But for counters, like +1 counters and counters like that, you got Agent's Tools, Broker's Ascendancy, you got Goldberry River Daughter.
Such a good card.
Yeah, it probably is. Right there. You got Hopperov, Visitor of Poisons. You got Machias Lunarch. Love it. I run that my tracks deck. We got Reinforced Defense. You got Vorel the Hawklade. Oh, such a banger little pre-con card. This was made for a pre-constructed standard deck a long time ago, and they haven't really reprinted it. So I'm surprised it's not worth more than 49 cents. You got Yo Shimero, Ever Faithful. Pretty good. Wrong way, mouse. Scroll down. All right. We got some serious ramp here. You got Aether Vial, which I don't think that really needs to be in this deck. All right. Arcane Signet. You got Astral Canacorpia. That's actually pretty good. There's actually an infinite combo. I don't know if it's in the deck. If I do see the other piece, I'll let you know. Chromatic Lantern. Cirtaceous Relic. Yeah, Coalition Relic. That's pretty solid right there. Everflowing Chalice. You got Expedition Map. You got Explore the Underdark. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, my Lord. I'm trying to read it, but my wheel on the mouse doesn't like to work very much anymore. Yeah, Kethis the Hidden Hand. That's actually pretty good right there. Yeah, Mojin Life's Web. Oh, that's pretty beast. Open the Gates. Relic of Legends. Nice. That's a good one. A Replication Ring, which is pretty solid right there. Soul Ring. Yeah.
Card's terrible.
Terrible. The ring goes south. You got Ren and the Rumbreaker. And you got Ren and 7. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That was like, why don't they run the other
Ren
one?
and 6?
Yeah, Ren and 6 is red and green, though, so you can't run it in this.
I know.
Yep. So you got some proliferate spells. Let's get that. You got Contagion Class, pretty solid. You got Icar Moon Gauntlet, pretty solid.
Such a fun card.
It's one of those weird cards. You look at the text box and like, what does that mean? But it deals with planeswalkers,
Why does this look like a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
right? Vulnerable Tide, pretty solid, pretty standard. Staff of Completion, because that's a pretty powerful staff.
Love that card.
Infinite combos. You got Tekethul in Inquiry Dominus. Nice.
Where's Contagion Engine? Shouldn't that be in
Yeah,
here?
I was like,
Dude,
yeah, I
it
was
should
thinking the
be.
same thing.
It should be.
I'm
For
questioning a
creatures-
lot of things with this deck, so I get it.
Well, I'm looking through the deck because I like some of the things in it. Sometimes I'll randomly pick a deck to go through just to see how it works. Because we all have an Atraxa deck somewhere. Yeah, Isamaru, Hound of Kanda, Masker Girl, Known Killer. That's actually a really solid card. I want to copy that card.
I'm currently brewing a commander deck with her because I love the Wither ability.
Nice.
Right. Wither ability solid. You have Raska the Silencer. Pretty solid. You got Mirren. For recursion, you got Mirren, Clan, and Neltoth. That's pretty nice. Pretty good. Pretty classic. So this is a fun deck. Like, you got Glorious Rebirth. Nice. You got Radadadric, the Liborg or Uborg. Radadadric of Uborg. I can say that without twisting my tongue, I promise. All right. Tameo Collector Tells. Solid include. Do not
good
underestimate.
cameo.
That's a good cameo.
We need the one that has that gives you an omniscience emblem.
You mean the blue one, Tameo Moonsage?
Yeah.
It's Black Sun Zenith for some
That's a good
board wipe removal. Classic. That was the card of the day. That was the card of the day during the eclipse. Lux Cannon, Myojin, the Cleansing Fire, Toxrill, the Corrosive evil card.
Like,
Transmogrifying Wand, yeah. Urza's Ruinous Blast. All right, I'm looking through this deck and I'm thinking someone noobish built this.
Yep.
Draw by Thassa. That's a classic little card for helping out with draw. Azuri Stalker's Fears. I even run that one. Jin-Jitaxias.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Reki, the History of Kamigawa. Tezzeret's Gambit. Pretty decent card there for. Well, that should be in the proliferate. Let's draw. Tezzeret, Artificer Master. Nice. The Kenrith, Royal's Funeral. All right. I think whoever built this deck is like, I won't put in cards people tell me to.
Yeah, I was like, that's also some weird deck.
yeah.
Raska, Golgori Queen. That's actually a pretty decent one for removal. You got Spelunking.
I love Spelunking.
Spelunking's pretty good. Raska joins up. Yep. And here we got some tutors. You got Vogroth, Blood Sky Sire, Time of Need, which is actually pretty good. No, it's only $1.97. Nice. And Instrument of the Bard. So, actually,
Oh my god,
this
there's
deck.
some damn tutor, grim tutor, like all demonic tutor.
Right. Nope. This is someone's homebrew. They started this deck and they kept building onto it. You can tell they've built it and added to it, and they're trying to fix it as they go.
But you can tell that they just built it with what they had laying around. Like I hate to say it, but the deck doesn't seem very good.
It seems mid-range-ish, if I could say.
Yeah,
that.
it's
I'd put it at like
power
maybe
level 4 or 5.
I was gonna say like maybe 6.
It has a salt score of 2606. It's 2609. So a salt score like that on this site is usually like a power level 4 or 5. Because like there's not like the only board wipe I see in this deck is Black Sun Zenith.
Urza's Ruinous Blast.
Yeah.
Right, but that one's harder to pull off.
Yeah, it's still a board wipe though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like how do you not have Wrath of God in there at least?
Right.
Armageddon.
Well,
every deck needs to be playing Armageddon.
I mean,
get out of
you're
town with
missing,
that kind of talk. No kidding.
they should be playing Austere Command, Wrath of God,
Farewell.
like Farewell. I mean, there's a couple of good ones in there.
There's a couple
Damnation.
of good ones. Yep. There's a couple of good ones you could definitely be running, but I think this is someone's little pet project. I like that idea. Like now everybody's gonna have a big deck. Like you said, someone built this deck with what they had. I think that's what made it good.
Yep.
Now I'm not saying it's like the top tier deck, but it's
A big deck, huh?
Big deck energy.
Big deck energy. All right. And my friends, that has been the deck of the day. Boom.
Right.
Hey. and we actually had a good conversation about it. I like that. Like normally, I just go through the deck and we just kind of solidify through it. Like I'm surprised there wasn't some infinite combos in there, but like Scotland said, he thinks someone built this with the cards they had.
Oh, just looking at the mana base alone, you can tell. No fetches, no shocks, no triomes.
But that's sometimes the way the best decks are started, like in your own personal collection.
I started Brago like that.
So I like it. James, are we supposed to only have one Atraxa deck? Or maybe I have a problem. I have 3.
I had 2 at one point. I had 3. I had Super Friends, Infect, and +1/+1 counters.
Well, I ain't got no Atraxa build.
Yeah.
Get on it, man.
I could
Go the historic brawler route on Arena. I know you play a lot of Arena.
Yep.
Oh,
Now,
man.
see, I have 2 decks that I play competitive with, and then my other 2 are just meme decks. Like I have Tom Bombadil as a meme deck, and then I have Memeoplasm.
All right.
Memeoplasm.
It's tribal ooze, and it's just straight fun with it. Like I had one game where I wiped the board and got 84 counters on black market, and then immediately the next turn I made a 45 counters on an Everflowing Chalice, and then I sanguinated everybody for like 130.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, now we are calmed down, relaxing.
Don't tell me what
just hit me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What? All right, so we're relaxing, we're chilling down. We're at the end of the show mark, so we're gonna get to the best segment of the day. The best segment of the day is chill.
Hey. All righty, folks. I'm at 434 subs, still trying to get to that 500. And as everybody knows, the more closer I get to the milestone, the more giveaways, and the more giveaways, the better the giveaways. And I won't be streaming this afternoon, but I will be back streaming again in the morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Woo-woo. That's it. Captain Waffles, anything you want to show?
Well, I mean, yeah, I had some things and I just totally blanked right now. Pool game was a success. We're gonna have another one coming up soon. I haven't figured out the dates and times. But hey, if you want a Sheldred, when we hit 250 subs, we're giving one away on the channel. It's Sheldred the Apocalypse, and then there's other giveaways and stuff coming. The pool game, I'm hoping we can do it where I give away an MH3 play booster box this time. And then, yeah, there's other like collabs coming up soon. People have reached out to me, and maybe I'll be on MTG Roundtable tonight because I think my softball game got canceled because of rain. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Scotland.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm half of the Mana Crypt podcast. With Corey, we just had SFT on this last week. We didn't end up putting an episode out this week because we had issues with the audio. I am also working on a second channel called Mana Crypt Gaming because I play a lot of video games. So yeah, look out for that. We're at 100 subscribers. We're trying to give away a Mana Crypt for our names. Which, thinking back, we should have changed our name to give away cheaper cards, but
give away cheaper cards.
I'm already subscribed.
All right, so I put your link to your channel in the chat. So if anybody wants to join that subscriber and get you closer to that 100 mark,
yeah, we've been doing this for like 6 months. We're still very new.
Well, I've been doing this for 6 years or so, and I'm barely almost to 600.
Yeah, and then I look at people like my brother, who, like I said, I don't know what his charisma or something. He was on for 2 months and hit 350,000 subscribers.
Wow,
it's his full-time fucking job.
Right?
Piece of shit.
Tell us how you really feel.
Right?
I love my brother.
That's funny. Some people are like that. Like, there's like a niche. My wife watches these budgeters, and some of them have exploded with subscribers, and some of them are struggling for subscribers.
Mhm.
You know, there's just some people just niche the luck of it. Some people who don't, and it's the same with some of us. Like someone was asking me the other day, why don't I have 1,000 subscribers? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm boring. I have no clue.
It's hard,
Anyway.
man. It's so hard.
Right.
It is.
But you know what?
I would have told them because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. That's why.
Right.
I don't have 1,000 friends. Do you?
Right.
Fucker.
We try to do on this channel. We try to make everybody friends who hops on the show and stuff, and try to make everybody regular because we're trying to build the creep community where a creep is a group of tortoises in the wild, and everybody's affiliated with the channel is considered part of the creep. And as we grow, we build friendships, bonds. Like Hillbilly and I are like really tight friends by now. And you know, and Captain Waffles is here on the regular when he possibly can, and he couldn't be here today, but tomorrow he'll be on my daddy-o's Cookie Dude. He's loves being on the channel, and so we don't care about your age. We don't care. Well, we care.
I was saying, Tortoise.
Like you care at a point. Like you have to be 18 years old or older, but we don't care. We don't care too much about like where you come from, as long as you keep it friendly, you know. But anyways, with that, whew, I have nothing really to show today because today is Thursday. You know how Thursdays go. I want to thank everybody for being on the show. I want to thank Hillbilly, Mountain Crypt, and Captain Waffles for being here. And everybody in chat has kept everything lively. James Willis, Richie Dubs, Brandon, Turtles. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Everybody who's been keeping the chat alive, thank you very much. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. New subscribers. I know someone who just subscribed today.
Cool.
Right? I want to thank you all for being here. And James Willis, you're not chopped liver. But until next time, my friends, don't forget to play wise and listen to Lord Megatron.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron.